Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Bleacher Report, and we are live. Coming up here on today's show, we're going to look into our crystal ball, and I'm going to tell you what I project Zamir White's stats are going to be this upcoming season. I saw an article from Sports Illustrated illustrating the fact that they believe that Zeus could be a bell cow or him have a bell cow opportunity. So I'm going to try to project to the best of my ability what I believe Zamir White's stats are going to be this season. On top of that, what Alexander Mattison's stats are going to be, and just give you a little bit more of a complete picture of what the projection is this upcoming season for Luke Getsy, for the running back room there with Cadillac Williams. Then I decided to put together my dream Raiders schedule. For those of you that do not know, the NFL schedule release is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Just going to tell you right now, Jeremy Chuggs and I, we will have the Raiders schedule before that is released, and it's another reason to hit that subscribe button, another reason to turn on those notifications, because you will know the Raiders schedule before the NFL puts out their schedule release. That I can promise you. As always, if you want to get those questions, comments flowing here on the chat, use hashtag Raiders or Super Chat, which is going to be the easiest way for us to put you up on screen. So I got to know, who do you want the Raiders to play week one? At this current moment, the only game that Chuggs and I know of what's going to happen is week 16, and we can kind of talk about what game that is going to be. It's going to be who they play in a little bit. We'll talk about that. But in terms of the week one game, who do you want the Raiders to open up the season against? Home, away, who do you want it to be? For me personally, and I don't want to give away what the show is, I want the Raiders to start off at home. Like, I don't really care who it is up against. I just want them to start off at home with Antonio Pierce at Allegiant Stadium. I think it's really important for them to get off on the right foot. I know then that means the remainder of their games are only going to have 7 home games left compared to 9 games on the road, but I want them to start off at home with AP.
Imagine.
I'm listening.
All the lights are off.
Okay.
Smoke coming from the tunnel. All you see
is their fire.
All you see is Al's flame right there.
Yep.
Jumbotron. AP's face.
Oh.
He just yells, Raiders! And then all the lights start like flashing on and off, and then everybody from the black hole is just
the lights will flicker on.
Gorilla Rilla's doing his thing. The Violators just like
Yeah, I love. Have I ever told you what Violator's wife's jersey is?
Violated.
I mean, I'll tell you what. That's elite. That would be like if Danny went by
Chugged.
Chugged. I was trying to think. All right. Yeah, that's pretty good though. Imagine if that's what she went by. Chugged.
But I agree with Raider Nation. I agree with the Journey PZ Hero. Give me Saints week 1. Give me Derek Carr. Give me Raiders DC revenge game. I want it injected in my veins.
Here's the only thing that I'll say to that. Historically, Derek has been a lot better early on than what he's been at the end of the season.
I don't care.
So because of that, like I want to play Derek Carr.
I want to play him at his best.
See, I want to play him to me, I want to play him at the end of the year. That's when I want to go up against DC. Like, imagine it's a game to get into the playoffs. I don't know how, but both teams are fighting for a wild card spot. Winner gets in. Dude, are you kidding me?
I want Saints Raiders week 1, and I want Gardner Minshew or AOC to be like, I'm going to have the best Raiders season since Rich Gannon.
There's remember the last season, there was those things where it's like Jimmy Garoppolo walked into the locker room. He looked directly into their eyes. He was like, go F yourself. It's just like these insane made-up quotes.
The tweet that continued to go around is, rumor has it, Jimmy Garoppolo went into the opposing locker room before kickoff and told the star defensive player on the other team, better lace him up. It's going to be a long day.
I can remember tweeting that after when they beat the Broncos, and what did you say? Oh,
no, yeah, that is a very Tom Downey tweet.
Oh, it's the most Tom Downey tweet of all time. Who do you want the Raiders to play in week 1? King Shop says the Rams.
It's that tweet and the tweet of player that's formerly played on your team re-signs with team, and then you tweet out, "Oh, I have a sick edit of him in a my team jersey."
We see Dan Tessier. What's up, my man? Cloud wants the Chargers. Jaime wants the Saints. Buzz-O-Matic 69 wants the Chargers week 1. I'm seeing some FKCs. Again, the earliest that the Raiders can play the Chiefs is week 3. Kansas City is going to be playing the first game of the year against the Ravens. Then week 2, they play Cincinnati. So back-to-back home games for Kansas City, their first 2 games. What up, Juan? Husker Raider, what's up, my man? Ed Robbins wants to go up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, Russell Wilson, that'd be kind of fun. What?
That video that I tweeted out is just, it's one of my favorite videos.
It's an unbelievable video. If you haven't seen, give him a follow on Twitter, at Mitchell Renz,
At Mitchell Renz 365, at Jeremy Chuggs.
Yeah, I was like, go check him out, but then I was like, that doesn't make sense, but I did retweet it. So you can see it on mine, but go check him out, at Jeremy Chuggs. All right. Do you want the first Raiders game to be home or away? And I think that this is actually an important question, and the only reason why that I say that is because it is important to get off on the right foot. However, though, with the Raiders this upcoming season, they have 9 road games and 8 home games. Does it make more sense then for you to get one of those road games out of the way? That way it's more even throughout the rest of the season, or you go home first?
I'd rather play most of my road games earlier on in the season. Kind of like what you were saying, like later on in the season, it's a lot easier to play those home games week 16, week 17, week 18. Multiple reasons. One, you're home and, towards the end of the season, you're tired. You have all your facilities there. You're not having to travel. You're not having to get on a plane and go somewhere after you've been injured for 15 weeks.
Sure.
Or after you've had to endure 15 weeks of the NFL season. It's a lot easier to stay at home. You have your trainers there. You have all your medical facilities there that you need, and you know where everything is. So I would say later home games, definitely better.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of away right now from Primo, from Renee, Cloud, Brian.
I'd rather start the year away and then finish the year at home.
I don't mind that idea. I don't. My schedule doesn't quite align with that because of who I want the Raiders to play the final game of the season, but I want the Raiders to have that first game. I do want it to be at home. I want AP to get that opportunity with all the lights on him in a big-time game. It's not going to be a primetime game week 1, but being at home in front of his own fans, I think would be a really, really fun thing. But then there is that part of me where it's like, that means then for the remainder of your season, it's 7 home games to 9 away. Yeah, it's tough. I can't wait to see what happens. I don't think it's going to be a divisional game week 1. Doesn't seem to be many divisional week 1 games leaked yet. So
I mean, there still might be a handful of them.
Yeah, that's right. I heard it could be like Giants Commanders or something like that as the primetime game. Is that already a done deal?
No, but it was funny because half the office was scoffing at the idea of that.
Yeah, that's the word. Don't get me wrong. For somebody that talked about Jaden Daniels for 2 months, if the Giants and Commanders is the opening Sunday night football game, shame on the NFL. I'm not going to go that far. I'll say shame on the NFL. If it happens, though, you guys know where to find Chuggs, right?
It'll be down by the dart.
Yikes. Yeah. Are we even allowed to say that? I don't even know. I guess it's been covered by the news.
Yeah.
So yesterday, Chuggs and I get done doing Raiders Live. We walk out into the studio, and there's a bit of a commotion, and all I hear Trace saying, Trace was looking for backup from DK on something that happened. There was a loud bang near the train station.
And it didn't come from Studio A.
It didn't come from Studio A. I just got a middle finger, so I don't know if this is good or bad. But walked out. Apparently, someone got shot yesterday right outside of our work, which it was kind of wild, right? That's kind of the Cliff Notes version of it?
I would say that's as much as we know.
Yeah, it was kind of a wild thing. I'm not going to lie. What up, Johnny Jack? Sienna said, Martin, appreciate you. Anthony Subs here watching. Martin also available.
I want to gauge how people are feeling about this team right now.
Okay.
I want to gauge it, and I want to see how many games you think this team is going to win this year.
Whew, man. It's one of those things like, yes, we know the opponents. I still want to see when that bye week is, when the games are, because there's going to be certain stints where, again, I think if you're able to play the Chiefs week 3 after they play the Ravens and then the Bengals, I do think that that's an easier setup compared to some other games. But there's going to be times of the season where you're like, that's a freaking gauntlet. Or certain times, games like on a road, if you have 3 road games in a row, like that can be really, really difficult. My season-long projection, the one that I'm going to continue to stick with here is 9 to 10 wins is where I see this football team. And they have a tough schedule. Like, they do have a tough schedule. They really, really, truly do. I know people are – the over-under on the Raiders is 6.5 games. Like, I'm going to take the over on that every single day of the week. And I know that people don't know who their quarterback is, and because of that, they're going to get the lower projection. But that's a hell of a defense.
So you're going 10-7 or 9-8?
9-8, 10-7 is where I see this team falling.
Okay.
What about you?
My official record prediction for the Raiders for the 2024 season, 10 wins, 6 losses, 1 tie.
You're so lame.
10-6-1. The tie comes against the Saints and Derek Carr.
Honestly, shoot me. That would, if the Raiders and Derek Carr tied, shoot me. There's only one person on the planet that would be happy about that. And he also makes videos on YouTube for both teams. Like, dude, there's no way in hell, dude. There's
10-6-1.
I think at this point, this has just got to be your next bit where it's every season that we talk about this, you're like, there's gonna be a tie. And when it does happen,
dude,
we're 24-hour live stream.
We're clipping it. We're going live. If I correctly predict one of these ties, one preseason, I'm clipping it and I'm going on ESPN. How did you know the Saints and Raiders were going to tie? I just felt it, Sally.
Yep.
I just felt it.
I remember when I was a kid watching That's So Raven and being like, I think that's so Chugs, because that's me. Predictor of all things. All right, y'all, we got 400 people here in the building. If you haven't already, make sure you guys click that like button. Johnny Jackson said 9-10 wins is unrealistic. I mean, my question to you would be then, what do you think is realistic? I'm seeing a lot of 12 wins, 11 wins.
You could realistically win some money today.
You could win some money today. If anybody wants a chance to get in, I actually found out that my Venmo yesterday kind of like took a shit for like 5 minutes because I had to send back like 6 people's Venmos yesterday, all at the same amount. Like they all came in at the same time. So I don't know if like my Venmo didn't register. My bottom line is I promise I'm going to be better today. So I promise I'm going to be better today. If anybody did not get in the race yesterday that wants a chance to get in, hopefully you have the opportunity today, a little bit of a bigger pot, $20 Venmo to get in on this one. So to the people of Rob Fravor, Buzz-O-Matic, Ron Raspberry, Julio Zapata, and then PG2869. Those are the people that I had to send money back to yesterday. If you guys want a chance to get in today, you send in a 20, I'll give you a free entry on top of that.
Wow.
Because that was all me. I don't know what happened with my Venmo. I'm usually really good at it. But like everybody who sent in money at a certain time, it just all skipped on it.
Dan says if we get a tie, Chugs has to wear a suit and tie the rest of the year.
I see a suit.
Button up and tie.
I like the tie.
Button up and tie.
People are going to be like, what the hell am I watching? This guy's got his jersey on backwards, and the other guy's rocking a suit and tie.
Dude, suit and tie game days?
I used to. Suit and tie game day. That'd be tough. Bro, you would be sweating.
Just have pizza sauce right here.
You'd have to burn that suit. By the end of the season, you're absolutely burning that suit. Raider Nation, wifey, were you playing like Carr yesterday, Mitch? I don't know what that means. Was I playing like Carr? I didn't play in our basketball game, if that's what you're asking.
Mitch quit.
I'm just taking a season hiatus.
Mitch quit.
Also known as not playing anymore, or better known as quitting. Coming up here live on the Raiders Report, we're going to get into my Zamir White projections. Again, Sports Illustrated threw out an idea that he could potentially be a bell cow back, so I figured, you know what, we'll talk about it a little bit today. And then on top of that, we're going to look at the dream Raiders schedule that I'm hoping the silver and black get. Obviously, it's a projection. Projecting a schedule is not an easy thing to do, but we can take some of the information that we've been given. There is one game that we do already know that the Raiders are locked and loaded that they have. It's a little bit later on in the season. But then there's also certain things that I'm going to explain of why I want my bye week at a certain spot, when I want the Raiders to play the Chiefs, when I want the Raiders to play the Saints. That's all coming up here on today's show.
And see,
what do you got?
The other reason why I want it week 1, I want to make sure that Derek Carr is playing in the game. Because I don't want him to be injured. I don't want anything. I want week 1, I want it 100% sure that it's going to be deep. Because it would, even if like he started playing bad and somehow they started Spencer Rattler, like that would take so much wind out of my sails if it was Spencer Rattler and the Saints against us.
You're not wrong.
Like that would suck.
And I'll be honest, I didn't even account for that in my schedule. That what you just said there does make me wish that we could play them a little bit earlier. However, I think that they're going to roll with DC.
I think so too. Injuries worry me too because he also, I mean, even though he plays through a lot of injuries.
Buzz-O-Matic, you in. I got you in twice. Now, I know that he does. Charles G., you are also in. So right now, as it stands, $20 Venmo, you have a chance to win $30 here on the Raiders Report. We'll do that at the very, very end here of today's show. Chugs, you ready to get this one rolling? You guys ready to get this one going? If you haven't already, very important, make sure you vote on the live poll. It's at the very top of the show because that's what this entire next segment's going to be around. Zamir White, what we think he's going to be able to do this season. The question is, will Zamir White have over 1,000 rushing yards this season? Yes, no. Right now, 79% of the votes are for yes. 21% of the votes are for no. Coming up here on the show, I'm going to give you my answer. So if you want ahead of time, also don't be afraid to give those projections in. All right, we good? Also, Zeus is spelled Z-E-U-S. I just saw it, right? Am I crazy? That's how you spell Zeus? Yeah. Z-E-U-S. And we are golden. I want you to click that like button if you believe in Zamir White, third-year running back out of Georgia. He's going to be taking over for Josh Jacobs. Big shoes to fill. If you think that he could do it, smash that like button. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz, your host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, I'm going to be projecting the final stats of Zamir White this upcoming season from a rushing and receiving standpoint. The reason why that I'm doing this is I'm reacting to an article from Sports Illustrated saying that Zamir White has an opportunity to be the Raiders' bell cow running back. And I don't know about you, if I hear bell cow back, I'm thinking that he's going to get the majority of the work as that number one running back because Josh Jacobs was a bell cow. I don't think Zamir is going to be a bell cow like Jacobs, but can he be somebody that Luke Getsy, Carnell Williams, Antonio Pierce really truly rely on? That's going to be something that we look at. I'm also going to tell you which running backs end up making this 53-man roster, and I'm also going to do my best to project the stats for those following players. If you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 170,000 subs. Chugs and I, we have the commitment to excellence. We put a lot of time and effort in, and we want to continue to grow this family. On top of that, I started doing these type of shows a long time ago, fantasy football, and this is where I actually feel like it's one of my strengths. I'm really good at projecting stats, and I know last season I made a video around Josh Jacobs and his numbers, and people hated it. Why? Because I said Jacobs is going to have the worst year of his entire career because history says that when a running back gets the amount of work that Jacobs gets, guess what? His numbers are going to come down the following season. So I projected Jacobs to have 752 rushing yards and then 5 touchdowns. Jacobs last season had 805 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns. Am I exactly right? No, but I did miss off on a few yards. I also know this, that if I would have told people last season that Jacobs would have had less than 1,000 rushing yards, y'all would have thought I was crazy. A lot of people would have said, Mitch, he would have got hurt. I knew that Jacobs was going to have a bad year and he was going to have the worst year of his career. My point is, I'm actually very good at projecting stats. So depending on what you see here from Zamir White, hopefully you enjoy it. No matter what, though, hopefully you hit that subscribe button because this is right up my wheelhouse. So again, this is what Sports Illustrated had to say about Zamir White. Zamir White, who is entering his 3rd season with the Silver and Black, will be the starting running back for the first time in his career. Josh Jacobs' injury opened that door for him last season, and his departure to Green Bay allows him to fully take the reins. White will luckily get the bulk of the carries as he earned 84 of them in the Raiders' last 4 games of 2023. He proved he could be a bell cow back and will now have the opportunity to do it over an entire season. There were times last season, and right when the Raiders drafted White, I sat up here and I was like, He's not good enough to be a bell cow back. He's not good enough to be a starting running back in the NFL. And Zamir White not only showed me wrong, decided to bulk up a little bit this offseason, and I don't know if it's just him riding these horses or him working on a ranch, but this guy does look like somebody that can carry a heavy load. Giggity, 104 carries last season, 451 yards, but it was the final 4 games of why people, and I got a lot of my buddies who are still doing fantasy football. Again, I used to write for Fantasy Pros, the fantasy footballers, a lot of these guys, and they're asking me, Mitch, what do you think Zamir White's going to do? And the hype, the expectation, the word of him getting that bell cow running back tag is based on what he was able to do the final 4 games. Now, the Raiders went 3-1 in these football games. The only game that they lost was Week 17 to the Indianapolis Colts, but the recipe for success was you take a little bit of pressure off Aiden, you rely on your defense, and then you pound the rock with Zamir. I anticipate that the Raiders are going to do something very, very similar with that. So with all of this being said, you got a brand new OC, no more Josh Jacobs, Zamir White, going to have some running back competition in there, new running back coach in Cadillac Williams. What is your legit, honest confidence level in Zeus? Scale it from 1 to 10. 1 being you are not confident in him at all, like worst starting running back in the NFL. Or if it's a 10, he's the best running back in the NFL. Me personally, when I look at this, and I'm going to answer it, I am also going to make this the pinned comment on today's show. So scroll on down and give me your answer, and then I'll give mine. The confidence level that I have in Zamir White is a 5. I am right on the prime meridian, the equator, if you will. Like, I can go back and forth. I am still hoping that Zamir shows you what he showed at the end of last season. There's also that part of me, it's like it's easier to do it in a 4-game stretch at the end of the season where there's a bunch of people that are banged up and Zeus has got fresh legs. I'm not sold on him being a bell cow, but I'm also not sold on the Raiders running back room. So because I'm not sold on the Raiders RB room, hell, I called it the weakest position group that the Silver and Black had on an episode that I did earlier in the week, maybe last week at this point. So because of that, I know Zeus is going to get work. I know Zamir is going to get those opportunities to get out there and get on the field and get his touches. And will Alexander Mattison, Amir Abdullah, whoever else steal some of that? Yeah, a little bit. And I'll tell you what the projections are on all of these players coming up here in just a moment. But like when I do my stat projections, I look at a lot of other things, specifically past offenses, coach trends, and that's the easiest way to make projections like that. So coming up here next, I am going to tell you what I believe Zamir White's stats are going to be this upcoming season, and is it fair to tag him as a bell cow running back? I'll tell you what, I felt like a freaking bell cow this weekend rocking in these shorts, and I love Chubbies, and what's crazy, another very full 360 moment here from Raiders Report, Chat Sports, Mitchell Renz standpoint. I was rocking Chubbies back when I first moved down here to Dallas, Texas in 2017, way before they were ever a sponsor on our shows. And now the fact that they're here, it's a big, big testament of, guess what, we're doing the right things. And Chubbies, they are made for the summer. Sky's out, thighs out, summer is right around the corner, and our friends at Chubbies are bringing the good vibrations. Chubbies is a lifestyle apparel brand that makes every moment feel like a vacation. They say fashion is an expression of one's character, so why not let the world know you're down for a good time? For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our listeners 20% off your entire order with our exclusive code CHAT. Use code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com/chat. Chubbies offers a variety of high-quality men's apparel, from super stretchy shorts and swim trunks in 3 short inseam lengths to pants, polos, and button-down shirts for when you need to hit up your favorite weekend brunch spot. Embrace the spirit of endless summer with Chubbies, the ultimate destination for bold, vibrant, and outrageously comfortable clothing. Whether you're getting dressed for your workday, a workout, or a weekend getaway, Chubbies has you covered. For a limited time, Chubbies is giving our viewers 20% off your order with code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com/chat. That's code CHAT at chubbyshorts.com/chat. Support the Raiders Report and tell them that we sent you. Don't blend in with the crowd. Stand out with Chubbies. And I know you guys could probably see, yes, some of these pictures are me. Some of these pictures are Trace, Marshall. We had a lot of fun this weekend, and Chubbies is one of those brands where, like, real life story. Back in 2017, this might have been 2018, right when I moved down here to Dallas, I go to the Chubbies store, and they were doing a Mario Kart 64 competition tournament. And I was like, dude, This company, this brand is exactly for me. Was able to meet some of the owners, was able to hang out for literally like 2 or 3 days, crush some beers. Bottom line is, if you feel like that you rock with Jeremy Chuggs and I on this show, if you feel like you want to be able to support people that brands that, represent you and the people that you like to hang out with and get down with, Chubbies is for you. So that link's going to be available to all y'all down in the comments, down in the descriptions. I'm not kidding y'all. The fact that they are sponsoring the Raiders Report, man, is a big, big thank you to all of you. It's a big pat on the back to all the hard work we've done here on this show, and I really want you to show them some love. Go to that link, get your pair of shorts. Get 2 pairs of shorts. I just got a few pairs. They're absolutely awesome. Again, shout out to Chubbies for sponsoring the Raiders Report. All right, let's talk about Zamir White and his projection here. And the way that I decided to do this is I had to look back at Luke Getsy offenses. Now, I understand that Getsy was not the offensive coordinator in all these type of years, but there are some important things to know when you try to project stats. The first things are this. The Raiders are going to be using a running back by committee this season. It's very, very out there. It's open. Luke Getsy has always handled a running back by committee in some of the past works that he's been with, and he's worked with a lot of talented running backs, which you're about to see. Telesco also said that this season he wanted to use 2 to 3 running backs. So I'm going to be real. I anticipate a running back by committee. I don't think it's fair to call Zamir a workhorse. On top of that, running back coach Cadillac Carnell Williams, when he was the running back coach at Auburn, what did they do? Went with a running back by committee. To me, Antonio Pierce and Telesco, they had a plan, especially at running back, and they are sticking to it. They are building in the trenches with some of these big guys. They're building in the trenches on the defensive side of the football. They want to be a physical team that can take a little bit of pressure off of your quarterback and rely on the running backs to kind of get it done and churn up some of that clock and then make it a little bit tougher on the offense. Zamir White, Alexander Mattison, Amir Abdullah, and Dylan Laube, to me, are the top 4 running backs for the silver and black. If you were to ask AP Telesco, I would imagine that they'd give you the exact same answer here. If you were to ask Raider Nation, who do you think are the top 4 running backs on our roster? I'll say 90% of fans say these 4 guys right here. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because when you go back and you look at history, and history is very important in projecting stats, when you look at history, Getsy and the offenses that he's been in, 4 running backs have gotten like 99% of the work, and mainly 2 running backs have gotten the most work. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop into that time machine, and we're going to go back and look at the last 5 years for running back numbers with the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. So when you look at Bears RB touches last season in 2023, the main guy, Khalil Herbert, he had 132 carries, 20 receptions. The reason why it's running back touches only is because I know they had Justin Fields. Here's the thing, and Aiden O'Connell, Gardner Minshew, they're not even close to Justin Fields. So we're only looking at running back numbers. Deonta Foreman, Roshan Johnson, that's 3 backs right there with over 80 carries. Also added a little bit from the receiving game. Bears running back touches in 2022. The leading carrier, David Montgomery, 201 carries. Khalil Herbert, right there next to him with 129. Again, Luke Getsy was the offensive coordinator in 2022 and 2023 for Chicago. But the way that I see the Raiders building this offense kind of reminds me of more from the running game of what the Packers did from 2019 to 2021, where I know Getsy was not the OC, but he was at least the quarterback coach and a pass game coordinator. And if I'm trying to reinsert myself into the offense, if I'm trying to almost recreate my name, I would try to look back at some of the better offenses that I was at most recently, which was the Green Bay Packers. Yes, they had Aaron Rodgers, but also when you look at the running back splits in 2021, A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones, those are your top 2 backs. Again, the top back got 187 carries. What about in 2020? You got another Aaron Jones instance. This is Jones when he's playing at a very, very high level. 201 carries compared to Jamal Williams' 119. Then the year before that in 2019, the biggest year in terms of main running back carries, the number 1 back got 236 in Aaron Jones. Jamal Williams had 107. When I look at these running back rooms from top to bottom, essentially what it is, it's you got 2 older running backs. Think of it as like a Zamir White, Alexander Mattison, and then you got 2 other backs that help you out a little bit more in special teams and can help catch the football. That's what Luke Getsy has been a part of, but even before he was an OC, and then when he was the OC of the Bears, that's what he incorporated, running back by committee. So saying bell cow for Zamir White, I don't think is a fair assessment at all. So here's your opportunity to look inside that crystal ball of yours and tell me, How many rushing yards will Zamir White have in 2024? Because I'm watching our live poll right now. 77% of the people that are watching the show are saying that he is going to have more than 1,000 rushing yards. I'll tell you coming up here in just a moment how many rushing yards I think Zeus is going to have this upcoming season. So when you look at the last 5 seasons here with Luke Getsy, the new Raiders offensive coordinator, running back touches with Getsy the last 5 seasons, okay? Running back season averages, the running back room in total, as a total unit, averages 370 carries and 80 receptions over the last 5 seasons. The main running back, the Zeus in this situation, is averaging about 191 carries per season, 52% of the work. Also, that main running back had about 46% of the catches, on average 37 receptions per season. So what I'm just trying to do here is take the numbers that we've been given and make some projections out of them. So what I decided to do is I said, okay, if I'm going to take those 5-year projections, I'm going to give Zeus 191 carries. I'm going to give Zeus 37 receptions. So when you look at those numbers, this is what it spit out to me. Zamir White, he's been a career 4.3 yards per carry type of runner. So I'm going to keep him at his career average. I think, yes, the offensive line is going to be better than what it was last season. But also, how's the quarterback play? That still remains to be seen. So to me, I'm projecting Zeus at 191 carries for 821 yards and 8 touchdowns this upcoming season. Then, from a reception standpoint, I'm going to say he's going to get 37 grabs for 241 yards and then 1 touchdown on top of that. I think that some people might look at these numbers as being a little bit lower, but when you look at the history of Getsy and his offenses, on top of Telesco wanting to go running back by committee, on top of Cadillac Williams, wanting to go running back by committee, the numbers that I have here for Zeus are numbers that I'm very comfortable saying that this is what I'm projecting for Zamir White to be the main running back for the Las Vegas Raiders this upcoming season. So next thing on the docket here is which running backs make the roster, because that is a really big equation to what you're going to project for Zeus. Like, if the Raiders go out and they sign another running back, I mean, it's going to totally switch up everything. But based off the backs that they currently have, that is why I gave the projection for Zamir White the way that I did. Before I tell you which running backs make the roster, we got the Noti gang here, and I got to give a major shout-out to Doom89, Jonathan Henry, Big Ward, Jaime, always part of the Noti gang, and then Mad Vet Raider. These are people that are subscribed, people that take pride in being one of the very first commenters on the videos that we drop here on the Raiders Report. So if you want to see your name on a future show, turn on that notification bell, click all. So here is the Raiders running back room. You got Zamir. They signed Alexander Mattison to a cheap contract this year. They re-signed Amir Abdullah to a 1-year deal. They drafted Dylan Laube in round 6 of the 2024 NFL draft. Outside of that, like, none of these guys are essentially Telesco Antonio Pierce guys. I know that the Raiders, for a fact, are going to keep 4 running backs. The reason why I have them keeping 5 is just because I do see Amir Abdullah and Dylan Laube being more involved in the special teams game. So if you're also going to have running backs involved in special teams, I just see them keeping a insurance back like in Sincere McCormick, who's better than Britton Brown, higher on the depth chart than Tyrese McAllister. So, like, that's where I just see the Raiders running back depth chart breaking down from top to bottom. So because of that, well, if I already showed you what Zeus's numbers are going to be, I'm also going to try to do my best here to show you what I think some of these other running back numbers could potentially look like. So a lot of different ways that you could shake it up, a lot of different numbers to throw out there. And again, I'm taking some of the numbers that I was given. I'm also just going to try to do my best here to just piece together the way that I think that this Raiders offense is just going to ultimately work this upcoming season. So when you look at some of these numbers here, I do see Alexander Mattison getting about probably 146 carries, somewhere around 599 yards, 3 touchdowns. Yes, Zeus is going to be your main back, but Mattison is still going to get his touches. And the area that he's going to get the most work in is especially when the Raiders are at a shotgun. By far the best pass-blocking running back on our team is Alexander Mattison. He's way better than Zamir White, and he's a lot better than Abdullah. I'll be real, I don't have that much tape on Dylan Laube being a pass-blocking running back, especially at the NFL level. But Madison's going to get on the field because of that ability. And then, they're going to get some few other carries from here and there. From the reception standpoint, I do see White being the leader in terms of who catches the football the most. But, my projection for rushing, I'm a lot more confident in than I am receiving, because this one could change in a heartbeat. Like, Mattison could be the guy that's getting more catches because of his ability to pass block. I also know that if they really like Dylan Laube, a running back that has already been getting comped to a guy like, oh my God, it was the Chargers running back, Austin Eckler, who Tom Telesco found. Laube could be somebody that gets a lot more work, and my projections could be totally off on him. Simply put, I wanted to make a show around the idea of, I heard a lot of people throwing out the term bell cow, and I just don't think that that's a fair word to use with Zamir White, because calling Zamir White a bell cow running back this year is setting him up to fail. Not because I'm not sitting up here saying, like, he can't do it. He's just not going to get the opportunity to do it. The Raiders, Antonio Pierce, Tom Telesco, Cadillac Williams, Luke Getsy, they are going to go with a running back by committee. So if your expectation is Zamir's going to put up Josh Jacobs' numbers, you're just not going to be happy. You're going to be strictly disappointed. It is a make or break year for Zamir, where if he's able to show NFL teams out there that he can handle a heavy workload, that he can be a main running back, then that final year of his contract, which will be year 4 after this season, it's a make or break year on top of that again. So I can't wait to see what Zamir does. I hope he watches this video and he goes, Mitch, I'm going to crush 1,000 rushing yards. Hey, you showed me that I was wrong last season. I hope that I'm wrong again this season on my man Zamir White. Remember, y'all, if you want to give me a follow on social media, I'm at Mitchell Renz 365 on IG, Twitter. You can also give my man Jeremy Chuggs a follow as well at Jeremy Chuggs. Again, this is simply a projection video, and it's not that I don't think Zamir is a good back. It's calling him a bell cow and setting him up with the expectation that people think that he's going to be a bell cow back this season for the Raiders, whether you're a Raider fan, whether you're a fantasy football fan. Setting him up to be a bell cow is just setting Zamir up to be a fail.
Drop the mic.
I mean, it's the truth, though. Like, it's just setting proper expectations. And I don't want to get into it, but it's just like setting the expectations of if Aiden O'Connell were to start for an entire season.
Yeah.
Aiden's not going to go out there and he's not going to sling for 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. Just like if people expect Zamir White to put up 1,500 rushing yards and 12 touchdowns, it's just not going to happen. It's just not what the Raiders are already building and what they're doing.
Yeah.
So now after seeing that, how many rushing yards will Zamir White have in 2024? What do y'all think? Down below, I want your projections right now. Who do you think? Let me know. And then, I don't know what the heck this Black Shep guy is. Y'all couldn't beat the Packers. Here's the thing. We did beat the Packers last season. On Monday Night Football, Week 5, against Jordan Love.
I think Black Shep is talking to somebody else in the chat, and he's defending the Raiders.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm like, I remember that game very, very clear.
I think he's talking to Johnny Jackson, who is a Cowboys fan.
Gotcha. Husker Raider is in. Also, no Santana is in twice. What's up? What do you got?
Rushing yards for Zamir White. If I had to guess, I'd probably say 121 rushing yards, 241 receiving yards.
You're so lame. You're so lame. Scott,
What?
A season without drama would be nice. That's a super chat. I agree. The problem is we cover the Las Vegas Raiders, and I just don't think drama is ever going to escape us. I do think that the mentality that Antonio Pierce is bringing to the table is a good one, and it's the right one that you need to have in order to flip a culture, because like the fact that AP cut Marcus Peters last season just for not trying, I think shows people that, I mean, if you're gonna get here and you're just gonna half-ass it, you're just not gonna make it on this team.
Raider Muerte.
Dan says 1,100. Kevin Rogers going to go with 756. Muerte sending in the good vibes. Muerte.
Suavemente.
Suavemente. Da,
Raider
da, da,
Muerte.
ba, ba, ba. Da, 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 da.
Do you need to change your jersey?
I do got to switch up my jersey. Shout out to Ty Bones Davis here. We got 500 people here in the building. If you haven't already, click that like button. Coming up next here on the show, we're going to look at my Dream Raiders schedule that will be released tomorrow.
Since we do have a little bit of some beef in the chat with the Cowgirls fan, I got to ask, where I don't even know, maybe he left. I don't know. Johnny Jackson, thoughts on Dak? Johnny Jackson, thoughts on Dak? Do you think he's a good quarterback or no? Johnny Jackson said, I'm here for my sister. She's a Raiders fan. Robert Jansen then says, your sister just left with Mars. Nice. Congrats, Mars. Johnny Jackson. Thoughts on Dak? Well, hell no doesn't really give me anything. I don't know what that means, John.
Yeah, unfortunately, that doesn't answer much. Ron Raspberry, yes, it's 20 to get in. I just saw your message. So if you want in, Ron, I'll get you in. I'll get you in, Ron. Though, again, if you get in, Ron, then I got to give you an extra entry because I screwed you over yesterday.
Drew said trash Prescott, which top 3 in MVP voting last year. I mean, I'm just saying, if you got to be.
Also, we got some new stuff coming out here on the whole John Gruden case. If you want, I can read this article real quick from Gruden. So this has just been released here by Adam Schefter.
Do you, I say we just put you full screen. Can you talk 8 minutes about it?
I don't really think it's that important, personally. It's just, so for those that don't know, John Gruden's dealing with this whole thing right now. So here's the article released by Schefter. I had a few people ask me about it. Quite frankly, I don't really give a shit about what John Gruden's doing right now. He's not a Raider as far as I'm concerned. But a 3-judge panel of Nevada Supreme Court on Tuesday sided with the NFL against former Las Vegas Raiders coach John Gruden, saying that he was subject to arbitration even as a former employee and thus ineligible to sue the league over his 2021 termination. Justices Elisa F. Kaddish and Christina Pickering reversed the district court's order that denied the NFL's motion to force Gruden's complaint into an arbitration process. The case was remanded to the lower court with an order to grant the arbitration motion. Justice Linda Mary Bell disagreed with the majority's interpretation of the arbitration clause in the NFL's constitution, siding with Gruden's attorneys, who argued that it does not apply to former employees. Gruden's lawsuit accuses the NFL and Commissioner Raj Goodell of directly leaking racist and misogynistic emails in an attempt to harm Gruden's reputation and force him out as coach of the Raiders in October of 2021. Gruden filed his lawsuit in November 2021, weeks after resigning under pressure when some of his emails from more than a decade earlier were published by the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. The emails have surfaced in league's investigation of then Washington Commanders owner Dan Snyder. Gruden told ESPN last year that the league thought that they could cherry-pick emails from years ago when I wasn't even a coach and try to end my career. At the time, league spokesman Brian McCarthy told ESPN that neither the NFL nor the commissioner leaked Coach Gruden's emails. So far, this whole thing is Gruden attorney Adam Hosmer argued that arbitration, a process that is controlled by the NFL where any discovery would not be made public, would be unfair to his client because Gruden is no longer a league employee. I don't even know if we even got much of an update. That just sounds like more and more of just the merry-go-round that is happening right now around the Raiders, not even the Raiders, around John Gruden. Yeah, but a 3-judge panel of Nevada Supreme Court on Tuesday sided with the NFL against former Raiders head coach John Gruden. So Gruden lost. Was Gruden wrongfully terminated from the Raiders, yes or no? I'll say this. I do think that he was wrongly terminated. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and disagree with it. Like, what he said was terrible. What he said wasn't right. I will always say that, yes, if you say something now compared to when you say something like 10 years ago, that does make a difference. Call me crazy. You can if you want. However, though, I'm happy that it happened. Like, I'm happy that John Gruden is no longer the head coach of the Raiders. Like, to me, you gave him 10 years, $100 million guaranteed. That was just, he was already taking you into such a bad place. Like, yes, don't get me wrong, the Raiders were 5-2 that season, right? Like, they were going in the right direction. But, like, how bad Gruden was with free agency, how bad Gruden was in the draft, that would have caught up to him a lot quicker than I think what people would have realized. And I think that now that we have Antonio Pierce and Telesco, to be honest, if you ask me AP or Gruden right now, I'm taking AP, and it's just not even a thought. So because of that, I don't really care about the whole Gruden situation. Let's go to Funky Raiders. Zeus will rush for 1,235 yards this season. I would say in order for Zamir White to rush for that many yards, he's got to get a minimum of 260 carries. And I just don't see Zamir White getting 260 carries in a running back by committee. And if you don't think it's going to be committee, that's fine. That's going against everything that Telesco has said, everything that Cadillac Williams has coached, everything that Luke Getsy has coached. Even when Aaron Jones was at his peak, he got 231 carries. So I just don't see that heavy of a workload coming for Zamir for him to get that many rushing yards. Call me crazy.
Crazy.
I'm
crazy.
Ron Raspberry, you, my friend, are in. And then I also see, it looks like Jason Gutierrez. So Raspberry, you're in twice. And then Jason Gutierrez is also in. So right now, $20 Venmo, you'd win $90. CR1Z, Trevor Lawrence versus Minshew. I'll tell you what week that's going to be. It's going to be coming up here on today's show. Or I guess we could drop it now. Does it matter?
It's up to you.
So the Raiders and Jags, they play week 16. So Trevor Lawrence up against Gardner Minshew is going to be week 16 this upcoming season.
And you do have to account this into the Raiders schedule as well.
Sure.
There's 2 games in LA.
Yep. Chargers and the Rams. I mean, both those games, I would imagine, are going to have a lot more Raiders fans than the opposing team, which that's true. I mean, I didn't really think of it like that. It is still technically a road game, but the Raiders are absolutely the team that's the home team.
And with the Raiders, I think it's smart also with the Raiders trying to move training camp to California. I think that is a very smart move by Mark Davis and this
Completely
organization of making sure you still have a little bit of a footprint there, you know?
I think that they are always going to have a footprint there just because of the fan base itself.
Of course, but you have an outlet for maybe some of those Cali fans to,
be able to just come check you out a little bit. No, I hear you. I think for the Raiders, the smartest part about them going to California is just the weather.
Yeah. That's why the Cowboys do it.
It's literally just the weather. I mean, the amount of Raiders players that I would talk to last season, and most of them were on the offensive line. You're getting up super, super early, and you're going out there to practice, and it's already 100 degrees. You know what I mean? You have to do it so early in the morning that there's no other option.
Texans players, you're in Houston, so you are in the worst mixture of heat and humidity. Literally every rookie that was at training camp this past week was like, holy crap, it's hot.
And that's the truth there, where I actually think the Raiders, I would rather it be 110 degrees, no humidity, than 95 degrees with humidity. I played some baseball down in Florida. I've never been to Houston, but, dude, the humidity in some of those games is brutal. Christian, not Raiders related, but I was curious to know about Jay Daniels' reaction after being drafted by Washington. Either way, excited about this year. Go Raiders. I'll say this, and it's only based off of things that have been reported. He seems to be very happy to be a Washington Commander. There was some speculation of whether or not he wanted to be. What?
It's official. Jason Kelce joining Monday Night Countdown and Monday Night Football.
Wow. I mean, that'll be a good fit for him. I think he's going to do a really, really good job with that, if I'm being honest. But I think that he's happy to be a part of it. I think he just wants to get it going at this point, and he's just trying to get his NFL career going. Oh shit! Cruising! Bang! What up, Killa? This is what I mean about getting wild. It's been a while that I got the party. He wants to get it started. Oh, dude, Killa Cruisin' wants to get the party started. Killa wants to get the party started. All right, I'll make you guys a deal today. Since Killa wants to get down here a little bit, if we get... How many people we got here? We got 500 people watching. Chugs and I, just because of the NBA squad, we have to be out of here today by 5 o'clock, just with some of the scheduling. And for those of you that don't know, who plays tonight? The Knicks, right?
The Knicks.
Yeah, so the Knicks, they play tonight, and that's one of our bigger NBA shows.
And we have Allie doing a...
Oh, jeez.
We have Allie doing a WNBA watch party for Caitlin Clark, first game.
Shit, dude. I'm not going to lie. I forgot about that. I'm
It was
actually going to watch.
It was on Prize Picks yesterday.
Yeah. I not that I forgot that the game, I forgot that it's today. Like, I forgot that it's today. Though, it's not even close. This is the most inclined I've ever been to watch a WNBA game. No doubt. Cruising wants to get this thing rocking and rolling. Well, if Cruising wants to get it going, my question to the nation is, do you want to get the shit show going? Give me a yes. Give me a no. Do you want this thing to get wild today? Honest question.
Allie will be on our main channel, I believe.
Yes. Randall Carter is in. Rich Renz is in. Amy is in. And then Maddie is in. So as it stands right now, $20 Venmo, you'd have the opportunity to win $150 here on the Raiders Report.
Brandon Jasper. I actually was in a little group chat, a little FaceTime with Brandon Jasper and Ira this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't know they're both drummers.
Really?
Yeah. Brandon has he has a sweet setup. He has drums that are like electronic drums. So like you put these headphones on and you play it and it makes the sounds in your ear, but it's just like that sound. Like it's not like a like it's not like super loud.
Interesting. I mean, Brandon is. So you joined one of their calls?
Yeah, it was me, Brandon, and Ira. We were just shooting the shit, talking about. They were talking about. I joined in and they're like, "Chugs, what's your favorite '80s rock drummer?" And I was like, "I don't know what I just joined into, but I don't know that."
The only person that I know that plays drums also was a stepbrother.
Raider Sancho, did you touch my drum set?
No, literally, like that's the only drummer I know. Yeah?
Tyler plays drums. Martin plays drums. Dude, we gotta get like just a drum line. Like Jones can be Nick Cannon. We have
you have
Brandon
drums
Jasper.
at home? Jones, do you have drums at home? How are you a drummer?
Somebody touched his drum set.
So then he had to get rid of it.
Yeah. Will Scott, did you put your balls on my drum set?
I feel like being a drummer or like somebody that plays an interest in
I know Dolphins today doesn't start till 4.
I mean, think about it though. You live next to somebody in an apartment and they're drumming, playing a guitar. I'd be like, are you kidding me?
Dude, if I was in an apartment and my next door neighbor was a drummer,
yeah, no chance.
I feel like you can't be a drummer if you live in an apartment. Like,
probably not. I think that's one of the.
I guess the thing that Brandon uses, the electronic thing, you could maybe do.
Yeah, I guess that's the case. All right, here's the game that we're gonna play. Since some of y'all want to get this party going, and quite frankly, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm kind of in a good mood. Like I'm down to get down a little bit. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm not
Shot clock during this whole last segment.
What the hell does that mean?
Shot clock during the whole last segment. $20 shots.
What do we have out there? I don't know if we have Fireball. That's what I'm worried about. Are you going to do tequila?
I don't know.
Tequila seems like a bad choice.
I thought we had Fireball.
I'd have to go look. I don't know if we have Fireball. You want me to go look? You want to go look real quick? See if we have Fireball before you make a deal that's just an absolute just a day wrecker. The other deal that I would make here is I'm not going to do full beer bongs. So if we did half beer bongs for $50 from here on out, would you guys be down for that? Like, again, Chugs and I can hang out for another hour or so. If you want to do, we did like the other day, we did like 1v1 duck races. So if like you sent in a 50 and your duck beat my duck 1v1, that I would do the beer bong. And then if not, you would have to do one. Cruising all day says, who's got my back? Nabman's been wilding out on Celtics, which I always find it funny when people just start watching our chat sports programs and they, like a guy like Nabman, who, again, Nabman, you're becoming a legend here at Chat Sports. Real quickly, though, you get to just like, oh, dude, yeah, we do have Fireball. All right. I didn't know if we had it or not. This is all the fireball we have? Damn, brutal. All right. Chugs, here's going to be the deal. For the final segment on today's show, what, you think 20 for a shot from 20 for a shot? Is that fair? 20 for a shot, or you want to go less? I think if we go less, I'm worried. Kills is the start. Holy tits. All right. Here's what we're going to do. Chugs and I, we're going to each take a shot, and then we're going to open up the floodgates here. So this is going to be the game. I think if we each just do one to start it off. We're each going to do one here to start it off. Cheers to the nation. Sienna says 20 for a shot is very fair. Sienna, if she says it's fair, then I'm going with that. I'm telling you what, I used to drink a lot more Fireball. I'm starting to like it less and less. I'm not going to lie. I'm starting to like it less and less. I don't know. What was that? Moe's guy. All right, so we'll do 20 for a shot and then 50 for beer bongs, half beer bongs. Moe's? Do we have it? Let me go grab, can I go grab a few dads? You just hop on the mic here for a second. Ron says 10. Ron, the problem is if we do 10, it's going to get risky.
And it's a Tuesday.
Yeah, Ron, it's if I do 10s, that's going to get risky real quick. Real quick. All right, I'm going to go grab a few Happy Dads here, and then we'll get this thing going. Though, a scotch right now, maybe a little old-fashioned, that's not bad.
I didn't know you liked old-fashions. Oh, wow. Well, I'll pull that up and when Mitch gets back. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. Andy has it on. Oh, wow. You son of a gun. How many Tri-Vans can we get in the chat before Mitch gets back? How many Tri-Vans can we get in the chat before Mitch gets back? I see Vinthrak. I see Yoda. I see Drew, Sienna. How many Tri-Vans can we get rolling? Jason, Jake, Josh, Anthony, Martin, Justin, Ira, David, Mateus, Samuel, Taino, James, Buzz-O-Matic, King Sanchez, Jaime Alvarado, Raider Sancho, Cruising All Day, Ron Raspberry, Josh I, Johnny Jackson, Jerry, Ed Robbins, Mr. Bakes-A-Lot. Keep them rolling. Another Martin Neal, Miguel, Jerry Danley. There we go. Mitch is making a lot of business trips out there. Is somebody trying to threaten me with a good time? Oh, Navman. Navman. I would never do that.
I got you, killer.
Drive-in! Bang!
Well, I'll be honest. I didn't really think about this. I didn't see Tri-Van. That just proves that he's just always lurking. So the name of the game is this. If I ever say that I'm down to turn this into a shit show, if I'm wearing your jersey, you send in a hundo, I got to do a boot. You know what, Tri-Van? It's been a minute. Mount Raider more. I'm down to have a good time. And
it's been a while.
I got this new boot. and I ended up buying like a decal to stick on it, though I'm a little bit worried because it's cold. It might not stay as well. So we ordered these like shields for the boot. They don't conform to the boot.
Yeah, because it's...
I know, but I didn't realize that. So all you guys can see, I'll say this. This right here looks dope.
Yeah.
It does. The problem is, though, I don't even know if they can see it.
Yeah.
All right, Tri-Van, this one's for you, man. Shout out to Tri-Van. Get it spamming in the chat. Chugs and I got one more segment coming up here on today's show, and I know it's Tuesday, but F it. Let's ride.
We have 5 more shots due to Killa, and then every $100 super chat, did you say it was going to be a beer bong?
Every hundo is a full one. Every 50 is a halfie.
And every 20 is a shot of Fireball. Oh, wow. Love to see it. You love to see it. Mitch is ready to get a little bit more wild right now that he's moved into a place that's a little closer to the office. Though, Mitch...
I'm watching the Knicks tonight.
Oh,
And I need to be a little bit more mentally prepared to watch the Knicks
Pros
tonight.
and cons, though. Pros, closer to the office, so a little bit easier to leave and go. Cons, less of a workout.
Yeah. Though I've been running here in the morning.
Will you check your Venmo for me?
Christ. Yep, I will in a second. People that are also in, I think I got everybody. I think Nabman just sent in another one. It looks like Randall Carter. Yep, Nabman got another one here. Hang on. Navman is in. And then it's Alexander Furr is in. Tri-Van is in. Navman is in again. And this guy right here, man, if you had asked me who do I think is the next person to be on the Silver and Black Hills, it's this guy. And this is somebody that I think is going to be making a running for Mount Raider more at some point in the near future. Maybe not before the season starts, but in the year 2025, I think this guy is going to be Mount Raider more. 93 Navman Bang! You can't tempt him with a good time. Which I'll say this, that bang right there, that puts 93 Navman in a 3-way tie with Lost in Tynes.
Love a 3-way.
Noah Santana for the May Bang MVP.
Love a good 3-way, love a good tie.
Sometimes, yeah. Right now, I'm probably down for the tie more than I am the 3-way. Do some Thai food right now? Sounds phenomenal.
I had some Thai food last weekend.
Oh, dude. It's spectacular. How about this? I'm going to handle some of the beer bongs. You handle some of the Fireball.
All right.
I'll be real. I didn't eat very much.
You passed me the shot glass.
I didn't eat very much. Cheers to the nation. Cheers to Navman, man. Seriously. Navman, you make this show a lot of fun, dude. You really, really do. I hope that you know that.
2 things that make the rockin' world go round, Navman and fat bottom girls.
Who? Fat bottom girls?
Yeah.
What is that?
They make the rockin' world go round.
Is that from a song? Yeah, I don't know.
Mitch. You're older than me, but sometimes you make me feel like I'm the one who's 5 years older.
My problem is I don't pay attention to a lot of things outside of my circle. Like, I'm going to be honest, I am one of the worst people out there of, did you hear this major news story happening? The answer is probably no. I pay attention to my inner circle here at Chat Sports, my close friends, the Raiders, and that's realistically about it.
I bet you Mitch knows more about news going on in rural Pennsylvania than he does
That's cap.
around the whole United States.
I mean, maybe that, sure. But, like, I know, again, like, I am dedicated to my craft.
Richie knows it.
What?
Richie said Chugs, he never got out.
Got out of what? Of Danville? Oh, I got out of Danville. I got out of Danville.
You can take the kid out of Danville, but you can't take the Danville out of the kid.
Correct. I mean, dude, it's not totally false, right? Like, how about this? Everybody, where's your hometown? Honest question. Where's your hometown? I'm from the 570, from a very, very small place, Pennsylvania.
So small.
5,000 people live there, I'm going to say.
Very small.
Whippy, whippy, wimpy.
Wimpy, wimpy, wimpy. Oakland, Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Hefty.
From the 570, says Richie Renz.
From the 570. Josh I from the 636. TJ Johnson, 916. That's Sacramento, right? Because that's Graf. Graf is 916. I see 213 from Mo. Yep, Sacktown from Ron.
Dylan says, I blame the school system. Dude, Queen is iconic. How do you not know Fat Bottom Girls?
How does the song go?
Fat Bottom Girls, you make the rockin' world go round. Bam.
See, I need to hear it like that. That's a good song.
I was just a little bit.
That's a song that my dad, if that were to come on the radio, he's like, Mitch, when I was a kid, I would sing this song in my head and go run for an hour.
Oh, you gonna take me home tonight? Oh, down beside that red firelight. Oh, you gonna let it all hang out. Fat Bottom Girls, you make the rockin' world go round.
My dad was a big like, if I had to go somewhere, I would run and I would sing to myself. I forget what song he used to always say, like when he would run, he would sing. But like, what would you used to do? Like, if you don't have your AirPods, like nowadays, like, if I didn't, I'm telling you right now, if I'm running somewhere and for whatever reason, if my head's like AirPods, whatever, if they were to die, I instantly start walking. I'm not going to be someone that's just running with nothing playing.
Could you imagine you're just driving and then you just see somebody running down the street? Oh, you going to take me home tonight? I would run the other way.
I'd be like, there is a hospital in Danville not called Geisinger that you need to be in.
I'd be like, this dude is mental. Do you imagine? We will rock, just sprinting down your street.
Absolutely not. That's horrifying. That's somebody that you should put in a padded room. No windows. No windows at all.
Mom spaghetti, knees weak, arms are heavy, they're vomiting on a sweater already. Mom spaghetti. He's nervous.
I think, honestly, the number one song that I want to hear my dad run to is WAP. Dad, if you get a second, look up WAP, W-A-P, and the lyrics behind that. Send me a voice recording of you singing that, and I'm going to put that on the show.
I don't know if we can.
You don't think? And if you can get a bucket and a mop, that would be great. If he pulls this off, legendary. Richie, that's your homework assignment for the weekend. Norman Hernandez, you, my good sir, are in.
Name your favorite rock band in the chat right now. I see somebody said Rolling Stones. What's your favorite rock band? Because Ira, Brandon, Jasper, they were talking about their favorite drummers from rock bands in the 80s. What's your favorite rock band?
Who sings Sweet Child of Mine?
Sweet Child of Mine? Oh.
That was my best song on Guitar Hero.
It's actually a lesser known.
Sweet Child of Mine. I don't remember.
Oh, no. That's Guns N' Roses.
Is it Guns N' Roses?
I thought it was.
Yoda says Guns N' Roses.
I thought it was somebody else. No.
Master of Puppets from Johnny Jackson. I don't know. Seether from Dylan Erickson. I do like Seether.
Van Halen, Iron Maiden, Foreigner. Aerosmith.
See, like the bands I liked when I was growing up were Breaking Benjamin, 3 Days Grace.
Sienna, I love some Red Hot Chili Peppers. Motley Crue, the Beatles.
Rush.
The Beatles is your favorite band?
I'm not going to lie. I saw Buzz-O-Matic's Motley Crue, and I thought that said Miley Cyrus. I'm like,
whenever I saw the Beatles, I was really expecting it to be Martin.
Yeah. Yeah. Linkin Park from The Journey, Metallica from Willie Fister, that checks out. Black Sabbath, that's a good one.
Do you have a favorite rock band?
Oh, I played Guitar Hero for one. I would say, again, if can I pick like Breaking Benjamin, 3 Days Grace, or do I got to go older?
You can whatever you want to do.
There you go. That's my answer. Breaking Benjamin, 3 Days Grace were like my two, I think, favorite rock bands.
Nickelback.
Not a big Nickelback fan.
Never made it as a wise man.
And that's why.
Never paid it as a poor man stealing.
But this is how that.
You remind me.
I think they were called Disturbed. Was a band that I liked a lot when I was in high school.
The Eagles, Jimi Hendrix.
Yes, Raiders only. Raiders only.
Ron
Raspberry, Korn. I could see Ron being a Korn fan.
Frank, I don't know if this is a band.
The long way, though.
Or you're just messing with me, but Frank just says, I love me some hose water.
How's that spelled?
H-O-S-E. Like from the water from the hose.
Oh, all right. I'm like, there's no way. Though, I mean, back then in those days, like, you're just like, what's the most insane thing that we can name a band? Hose water. That sounds like one of those jelly beans that we would eat. Though, that wouldn't be that bad of one.
Yeah, Alan, that's what Mitch thought it was.
Hose water.
Avenged Sevenfold, Slipknot.
Here's the thing. If you type in hose water in Google, it's not what you think you're going to get.
Cassidy Gates and Raider Sancho, Primus, back to back. Maybe, I don't know.
Wait a minute here. I might have stumbled upon something.
What?
All right. There is a band on Instagram with 173 followers called Hose Water Music. I think they just misspelled house. Is that you? It's a cold rush that slakes. Yep, I don't know. They are on Spotify.
Wow.
I'm looking at them right now. Hose Water. Made in 2021. 15 songs.
You ready to get this next segment?
Oh, yeah, we still have a whole. My goodness.
Ira Jackson! Bang!
What'd he say? He's talking shit? Ira? Ira. You always talk, but you never chug.
Never made it as a wise man.
Ira Jackson. You know what? I think Ira's one of my favorite names to bang to. I know it's a weird thing to say out loud, but...
Willie Fister.
Willie Fister's definitely a good one. Venthrak is a good one. Yoda Jenkins does. Daniel frickin' Jimenez has always been a good one, though. That's been a minute.
Yeah.
Zon also is a good one. I'm trying to see some names there in the chat. Can I get who's here watching the show right now? If you are, can I get some me's down below? Who's here rocking with us right now? Can I get some me's down below?
Ira said he's drinking a pint of Guinness as we speak.
A Guinness. I will still say there's going to be a show where I do a Guinness boot.
It's crazy.
Watching that guy do that Guinness boot at the Super Bowl, unbelievable.
Bro, and he had a decent time.
He had a great time.
It was like 26 seconds for a Guinness boot.
Would you ever do a Guinness boot on here?
I don't even like Guinness.
I don't either. I don't think anybody does. I think they just sell it.
Oh, it's so heavy.
Oh, dude. A Guinness boot. What do you think your Guinness boot
I think
time
I'd rather
would be?
do a milkshake boot.
No, you wouldn't. A milkshake boot. All right, I'll make you a deal. I'll make you a deal. I swear to God. We're going to do a show where I do a Guinness boot and you got to do a milkshake boot. What kind, though? Like a vanilla?
Vanilla and let it sit out for maybe like 30 minutes.
Brett's going to be like, I have a creamy now. I can make one for you. Dude, milkshake boot over a Guinness boot is insane. What would you rather do? A boot of Guinness or a boot of milkshake? I was going to say milkshake. Do you think it's easier vanilla like compared to chocolate or strawberry?
Yeah, I think it's just more mild.
More mild? See, I almost feel like I'd rather do like chocolate because I like... Actually, no, I take that back. Probably vanilla is the only way that you can go. You guys would rather do a milkshake boot than a Guinness boot. That's insane.
Ooh, peanut butter milkshake. But then, see, Sean, if you start adding all that stuff, then it just gets heavier and heavier. Like plain vanilla.
Yeah, I'll say this. I wouldn't recommend doing a queso boot.
No.
That's brutal. We're going to come up with a deal at some point today that involves me doing a Guinness boot and you doing a milkshake boot. I don't know what that deal is, but we're going to come up with one today at some point. I don't know.
Brett, we need you to make a run to In-N-Out.
No, not today. I'll tell you right now, I ain't doing a Guinness boot today. That I can promise you. Raider Josh, you in?
Maybe I do a what's it called?
Mike Van Leuven.
Instead of a milkshake boot, a creamy milkshake boot with the panda.
With the panda would be good.
And it's actually not that bad for me because I'd just be drinking a shit ton of protein.
Ira's just said, I'll get a boot and we can do a boot of Guinness Extra Stout. What does that mean? Is that a beer? I guess Guinness Extra Stout?
Yeah.
What does that mean, though?
Do you want to do a half or do you want me to do some shots?
I got a halfie in me. If you want to take down a shot, though, I won't say no.
I think I still owe Killa like 3 more.
3 more? Damn.
Brutal.
I'm not gonna lie, I needed this little bit of a pick-me-up. I felt like I was tired. I feel like I've been tired recently. Since the NFL draft with my move, I don't know if you guys know this, I've moved recently.
I get why they drink over in like England and Ireland for their lunches because
it wakes you up.
It makes work so much better.
It does. It wakes you up.
Me pre-drinking to me post-drinking at work, totally different guy.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, there was a point in me today where I was like, I'm a little bit tired. I needed this pick-me-up. I kind of feel good now. Feel re-energized.
Now I really want a milkshake.
So what's up with Zamir? Will he break 1,000 yards from Stoffel the Badger? I said no. Me personally, I don't think that Zamir White's going to be close enough to be able to get to 1,000 yards. But he'll be close. He'll be close.
He'll be close. Very close.
All right, I got a burp here. Hang on. And then I say we get this final segment.
I call him Close Zamir.
Oh, man. All right, we cleared some room. How about this? We'll keep this shit show going here. I got one more segment to do.
We'll continue to show some shit.
If you guys are looking for a show of shit, we're going to get into that. But first, we got to get into this Dream Raiders schedule. Now, I've never done a show like this before. I'm hoping that you guys enjoy it. I've seen a few other content creators out there put out, there was one show I watched. I want to say it was Hammer and Graph. They were putting together their ideal Raiders schedule for this upcoming season. I wanted to do something like that with the NFL releasing their schedule tomorrow, so that's what you're going to see here. And I'm going to talk through why I want each game when I want it, so just be on the lookout for all that kind of stuff. And then the deal is today, shout out to Killer Cruz, and he got the party started. Every hundo, we're doing a beer bong. Chugs is doing some shots of Fireball for some 20s. We do got to get out of here in about 40 minutes, so now's going to be the time to pile it on if you guys are ready to pile it on here. Shout out to Robert Jansen, Taino Raider, Ron Raspberry, all loving to the real ones. And if you're wondering, Mitch, how much money is the duck race up to right now? Right now, the duck race, $20 Venmo, you would go home with $220.
Taino, that's actually my favorite shake.
What?
Chocolate banana.
I disagree with that.
What? That it's my favorite shake?
No, that can be your favorite shake. It's just not my favorite shake.
Yeah? So what's your...
I don't know. It's just...
That was a weird... My favorite shake is a chocolate. I disagree.
I disagree
with your favorite shake being
no
chocolate.
Way. I know that you like banana. My problem with banana in anything is it's very overpowering.
I feel like with chocolate, it matches so perfectly.
It does. It's a good combo. Like, I would rather go chocolate, peanut butter, and banana. Not just chocolate and banana.
I mean, I'm down with that too.
You know what I really like? Have you ever had tea berry? It's like a pink... dude, has anybody ever had tea berry?
Ira
Jackson! Bang! Well, Ira said let's pile it on, so...
Do you need more?
I got one more over here.
I'll go get you some more after this.
Might have to. It looks like Ira's down to clown today. It looks like the nation is down to clown today. Ira Jackson now is firmly putting himself, giggity, in our bang race for May. I'm already telling you right now, I'm in trouble. I didn't eat anything today. I worked out today. I'm in trouble a little bit.
And, of course, from Mr. Strawberry.
I mean, that makes sense. That checks out.
I like a strawberry shake.
That's like saying the best last name is Renz. Coming from me.
But I do have to say,
I'm listening.
If I'm going strawberry shake, I think maybe hot take, I think strawberry banana like smoothie I would have over strawberry shake. The strawberry banana combo.
No, I'm with you. I think that was really cold.
I'd rather just have a strawberry banana shake and have it a little bit more healthier than a strawberry smoothie.
If I'm gonna go fruit, I want smoothie.
I mean, no,
if I want milkshake, I don't want it to be healthy.
Yes, I want like chocolate.
Yep.
Or vanilla.
Yep. Now in a smoothie, it's pretty good. Oh my goodness! Somebody just woke up a beast. I don't know what happened here, but somebody just woke up a beast. And his name is Ira Jackson. Ira, are you shitting me right now? If you guys don't spam Ira, get the hell out of here. You guys can get the hell out of here. Ira, I got to hop on a call with Ira. Ira, how about this? When I leave work today, I'll call you on my walk home from work. Dad, I'm sorry. Ira's going to get the phone call today.
Hit the Mount Raidermore line. See who's there.
Well, there's also this. No! Santana! Bang! A beer bong and a shot. Well, if you could go grab me.
Yeah.
That would be much obliged.
Never made it as a wise man.
Never.
Never made it as a poor man, Steve.
And this is how you remind me of what I really am. Ba-ba. Yeah, I'll just take the 3 Hap Dads again. Beer bong and a shot from Noah Santana, who I just want y'all to know, this now has put Noah in the lead for the bang race here in May. Bang race, which we're actually going to give a shout out on the next show that we're about to do to some of the MVPs that we've had for this year already. If you don't know, our January MVP Bang Master, shout out to Justin Abgen. He was also our MVP in December. Lord Cameron Abbott was the MVP in February. David Zahn was the MVP in March. And then this past April, the guy that's been effing shit up today, Ira Jackson. Ira, you'll be getting something in the mail, excuse me, relatively soon. All the other Bang MVPs, hopefully you guys have already got your stuff as well. Yep, P. Castro. Taino, Johnny Jackson. Shout out to No, man. No's been watching the show a lot more often, I can tell. I also love, I love the picture, No. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate it. I always want to know, like, what you guys look like, though. I always want to know what you guys, like, actually look like. Ira Jackson again. Oh, Ira, bro. You're literally trying to just punish Jeremy and I right now. He is taking it upon himself to just punish Chugs and I. There was a moment 30 minutes ago where I was like, is anybody down to clown? And Ira was like, I've been here waiting. We find out Ira's not even a Raider fan. He's just like a competitive drinker.
Nah, I was on a FaceTime with Ira this weekend. Definitely a Raiders fan. He's got a lot of Raiders stuff around his crib.
Yeah? I mean, this man right now is on a mission. He is on a mission. So right now, Ira has what? That.
I'm both.
Dude.
It's that Drake song. It was like, bitch, I'm both.
I'm both. All right, Ira. Everybody, we're going to get one segment in before this just keeps on going down an interesting trajectory.
Dark path.
You guys ready to figure out what my dream Raiders schedule is? After that,
bang! Hose water.
Dude, the next person that bangs, if you're okay with me going hose water, I'm in. A hose water bang? Sounds wet.
Dude, I feel like we got to hear this music.
The problem is I can't play it.
No, I know. I'm saying after the show.
So their first song is Indigo V3. Next is Elliott V3. Then Marlowe.
What if we just got every single Raiders fan to follow them, and all of a sudden, Hose Water has like thousands of followers, and we started Hose Water?
I mean, their album, which I love here. What do you think the first album name for Hose Water is on Spotify?
Sprinkler.
First.
Nice.
Yeah. Sprinkler was a good guess. It's a fair guess. But the title is First.
Nice.
They do get monthly listeners, too, so that's pretty impressive. All right, let's get into this NFL schedule news here, and then I'm going to tell you what my dream Raiders 2024 schedule is for this upcoming season. You ready? Prize Picks is where we got to go. Also, Mo Chavez is in. I'm gonna do a better job today of making sure that I get everybody in for our duck race. Mo Shav, you're in, which means right now, as it stands, $20 Venmo, you would end up getting $23. You gotta be shitting me, man! Ira Jackson! Bang! Or was that for hose water? Hose water! Bang! You gotta be shit. I mean, where are we at for a gong rip? He's gotta be there. He's gotta be right there.
Oh, I just realized I was muted during that.
Damn, brutal.
He's 50 away.
He's 50 for my gong. All right. It's not good. Luckily, the gong's right there. Ira, I'm just saying, you don't have to, you can put a kink in that hose water of yours.
Kink the hose.
I'm in trouble. I'm telling you right now, I'm in trouble. Yep. I am, yep, Ron, you're right. 50 away.
I'm afraid to start the segment now.
I'm terrified. I say we get into the segment because there's no way it's going to happen in the next 20 seconds, right?
All right.
There's no way that it's going to happen.
Get it set up.
Just get it set up again. We'll get ready. We'll do our normal banter back and forth of Raiders schedule coming out tomorrow. Chugs and I, we try to get this show out where, we're just going to project what the Raiders schedule is. The NFL, there's been some leaks already. There's already one game that's been leaked for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Random game, too.
Very, very random game. We'll talk about that coming up here on the show. And then Oh, man, I got a burp.
Also, I didn't realize these are 2 salute symbols. It doesn't pull in our system the emojis.
2 salute symbols. And then again, we're also going to do a duck race at the end of the show. 20 to get in that. Ira Jackson now, I want to say, is tied. Yep, he is now tied with Noah Santana for our May bang race. So it's going to be an interesting one. I think we're good. I think we made it.
Yeah, here we go.
I think we made it. All right, coming up, our final segment here on the Raiders Report. Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report. And coming up on today's show, we're going to get into the Raiders schedule news. For those that do not know, we have right now at least one league game for the Silver and Black. I'll tell you who that is, who we're going to be going up against, and when that's going to be going down. And then my dream schedule for the Las Vegas Raiders. And this is a show that I've never really done before, but I've seen other people kind of like throw their ideas in. And if this is the schedule that comes out for the Silver and Black, I think it would be a dream come true for Antonio Pierce and Tom Telesco. For those that do not know, the NFL schedule will release tomorrow by May 15th, 2024 at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm going to have the Raiders schedule before that. It's another reason to hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. We will get the schedule here at Chat Sports before it is released to the NFL world out there. So all I'm trying to tell you is this. If you want to know what the Raiders schedule is, we're going to provide that for you guys tomorrow. Chugs and I will make a video around it. I just thought that this would be a fun little segment to do of if I could create my own Raiders schedule, when would I do it? And there's a lot of strategery, shout out to you-know-who, a lot of strategery of why I'm deciding to put the Raiders in certain situations that I am. So if you don't know, the Raiders' home opponents this upcoming season, obviously it's the teams out of the AFC West. And then you also got the Cleveland Browns, the Atlanta Falcons, Carolina Panthers, Pittsburgh Steelers, Jacksonville Jaguars. The Raiders have 8 home games. They have 9 away games. However, some people might say, well, Mitch, they got 2 games this season in Los Angeles on the road. And let's face it, anytime the Silver and Black travel to SoFi Stadium, that's basically a home game. So you got the Rams, you got the Chargers, both in those games. On top of that, Cincinnati Bengals, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Baltimore Ravens, Saints, Dolphins are all the teams that we go up against on the road. So the way that I'm going to do this is obviously I'm going to start at week 1, and I'm going to make my way through the entire schedule, just outlining when I'm hoping that the Raiders go up against certain teams. Now, the Chiefs have had a lot of leaks already as it stands. I mean, there's been like 3 or 4 games for Kansas City that have been leaked. Also, I've seen people say that, oh man, the Raiders, they're getting the hardest schedule. The NFL's screwing them. Here's the thing. When you go up against the Super Bowl champs twice a year, it's going to make your schedule a little bit more difficult. It is the toughest amongst AFC West teams, but it is also one of the tougher divisions. They are, 9th overall? What'd you say? They also finished 2nd in the AFC West, so it's just like a little bit more of a tougher division. Here's the other part of it, though. With the amount of quarterback injuries that there were last season, strength of schedule, I'm not really paying attention to it, but the Raiders' schedule this upcoming season, it is going to be a daunting one. A lot of tough teams there. My question, though, is who do you want the Silver and Black to play in week 1? I know that there were a lot of people out there hoping that we went up against Kansas City for the home opener. Really happy that we're not. I got a wedding, and I'm happy that I'm going to be able to go to that wedding. On top of that, though, I wanted the Raiders to go up against the team that maybe the hype isn't as crazy around, solely because, it's not a divisional rival game. So for me, the team that I want the Raiders to go up against in week 1 is the Carolina Panthers, and I want a home game. I want the Raiders to be at home that first game. I think getting Antonio Pierce started off on the right foot is the right way to do it. Yes, the Raiders have recently played Carolina. I want to say it was back in 2020 when they played them in week 1 up against Bryce Young. Should be an easy game. Not an easy game. No game in the NFL is easy. But it's a game where I'm confident the Raiders can get off on that right foot and get a win underneath their belt. Let's go to week 2 here up against the Los Angeles Rams. And yes, it is a road game. However, like I mentioned earlier, if you're going up against any team in Los Angeles, especially in SoFi, that's going to be a home game there. Matthew Stafford, tough football game, which then brings me to week 3 at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs open up their schedule week 1 against the Baltimore Ravens at home. Then week 2 at home against the Cincinnati Bengals. You got Ravens, Bengals. I actually think that the Raiders might be a little bit of an afterthought there. So because of that, maybe they get beat up those first 2 weeks. It's when I want to play Kansas City. Week 4, we're going to be at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. So right off the bat, a lot of home games to get this season started. I really think it is important for us to be able to build that confidence around Gardner Minshew, around Aiden O'Connell, around Antonio Pierce to get us going in the right step forward, because we got to start the year strong. If we start the year bad, I'm worried that it could spiral out of control, where out of these games here, I'm saying at worst, we're going 2-2. Now, before I get into the remainder of my dream Raiders schedule, I do want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Prize Picks. And during the NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, I've been using Prize Picks a whole bunch. The Raiders Report is made possible by Prize Picks, and they got specials for new and returning users alike. All you got to do is just go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, and that code's going to be available to you down in the comments and down in the description of today's show. Prize Picks is really simple to play. I can make my picks and submit my entry in less than 60 seconds. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types will make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. So a lot of times when I talk about Prize Picks, I give you guys my picks. Well, you know what? Let's roll with Jeremy Chuggs here. So he went with Dak Prescott more on the passing yards. Xavier Worthy, FKC, less, which I love that one. Brock Bowers, his numbers actually went down a little bit. It used to be at 5.5 receiving touchdowns. Now it's at 4.5, so I love that value there. Give me the more. Josh Jacobs, I know he's a great running back, but like 7.5 rushing touchdowns on Green Bay's offense. Give me the less there. And then Chris Jones, less than 11.75 sacks. If you really like the picks that Chuggs made and you want to use them, again, use code CLNS at prizepicks.com/CLNS. PrizePicks is simple. You just pick more or less. If you haven't gotten that by now, then you just don't listen to Jeremy or I. Again, if you haven't already gotten started, you're going to have a lot of fun with them. And even if it's around games that, quite frankly, you don't really care about, I'm telling you right now, the New York Knicks, their playoffs have been a lot of fun for me. I've been going with points with Jalen Brunson. He's been putting up a bunch of shots, whether it's the NBA, NHL, no matter what it is. Prize Picks is the #1 spot for you guys to go to. You're going to have a lot of fun. Hopefully put some money in your pocket. Let's go to week 5 here. I'm going to be going up against the Los Angeles Chargers. Jim Harbaugh, Justin Herbert. Another game that I do think that this silver and black team can absolutely win. Let's go to week 6. This is going to be on the road against Tampa Bay, the Baker Mayfield show. And the way that I really thought about this schedule was, I said, okay, I'm going to try to go with a game. Like the Bucs, yes, they made the playoffs last year, but it's a game on the schedule where when I look at it, I kind of take a sigh of relief, and I try to take a sigh of relief before divisional games, even if it is up against the Denver Broncos team, which the Broncos, the last time that they beat the Las Vegas Raiders, you got to go all the way back to December 29, 2019. We're going to win both games against Denver yet again. Let's now go to week 8. This is a really tough game on the road against the Cincinnati Bengals, and the reason why that I put Cincinnati here week 8 is solely because I want the Raiders every year to get a bye week in the middle of the season. Like, to me, that's when it's at its absolute peak. It's when it's at its absolute best. And on top of that, the NFL trade deadline this year got pushed back a week. So now it's going to be November 5th, which is kind of like right on point right here, where if you can't have a positive record after these 8 games, you're not going to be competing for anything serious anyway. So because of that, the Raiders can make a decision. Are we a team that's going to trade away our assets or trade for some assets? Before I get into the back half of this schedule, I do got to give a shout-out to our 2024 Bang MVP so far. Shout out to Justin Abjin, Lord Cameron Abbott, David Zahn, Ira Jackson, and right now the leader in May, which it is a tie between Noah Santana and Ira. Also Lost in Tynes, 93 Nabman are right in there. I can't even express how much you guys make this show fun, what you do for the nation, and I know that you guys do everything that you do for the nation. So from the bottom of my heart, Chuggs' heart, I hope that you guys know deep down that you make this show a lot of fun, and keep on banging here with the silver and black. So week 9 here, I got the bye week coming in. Good time to heal up a little bit. NFL trade deadline, and then that also gives you that extra week to be able to prepare to go on the road up against the Los Angeles Chargers. And again, I expect the Raiders to be the better team against Los Angeles. However, though, when you got Justin Herbert and you got a first-time head coach in Jim Harbaugh, Harbaugh is going to make me nervous. He's one of the best in the biz, and I want that extra week to be able to prep for him. So now what I want to know is down below is which game are you looking forward to the most? And the game outside of like the Kansas Cities, the Denver, the Chargers, there is one game on our schedule that I am the most excited about, and it's not close. Who? The New Orleans Saints and Derek Carr. Let's go to Week 11 now. We're going to be going up against the Atlanta Falcons, and the reason why I put Atlanta here is not really so much to do with the Raiders, but more to do with Atlanta. I think that Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. I think Atlanta is a good football team, but neither of them are great. And if Cousins is struggling, and even if he's like, if at this point in the year the Falcons are maybe not in first place of their division, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Kirk. And who knows, we might even get a rookie at Michael Penix Jr. Let's go to Week 12 at Miami. The Raiders played Miami last season at this kind of point in the season. I want a little bit of a revenge game. I thought that the offense played really bad last season. And on top of that, at this point of the year, injuries start to pile up, and Miami has been a team that's had a lot of injuries, so I think that we can take advantage of that. Week 13, let's go up against the Cleveland Browns here. And I don't really have a specific reason of why I'd want to go up against Cleveland at this point, other besides Deshaun Watson has struggled to stay healthy. Let's now go to Week 14 at Kansas City. And I was really trying to figure out a way to play the Chiefs again, like right around Christmas time. But I thought the way that this schedule is going to finish, it's going to be an absolute gauntlet. And I do think that if I'm the Raiders, I kind of want that gauntlet of a season near the end to just prove to myself, all right, hey, we can beat any freaking football team going into the playoffs. So we got Week 14 on the road at Kansas City, but historically, when I say historically, the last few seasons, the Raiders have done a much better job in Kansas City than they have in Las Vegas. Week 15 on the road at Baltimore. That's going to be another very tough game. But I wanted to go with some really tough football games. That way the final three does get a little bit easier here for the Silver and Black. Coming in here at Week 16 for Antonio Pierce and company, which I believe Week 16 is the Christmas game. This is going to be Gardner Minshew up against Trevor Lawrence. So originally, I'll be real with y'all, I was hoping that the Raiders were thinking about potentially playing Jacksonville in Week 1. The only game at the time that I am making this video that is officially official, Week 16, Raiders are playing the Jacksonville Jaguars, so you can already put that one on your calendar. You can circle it if you're trying to go to that game. Let's now go to Week 17 at Denver. So again, because I started this season with so many home games, lots and lots of road games to kind of finish this one out. And then to just put a bow on this season, I figured what better way to put a bow on this season than with Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints. I'll admit, Jeremy makes a good point where this game is only important because of DC. And there is a part of me that wonders, could the Saints bench Derek Carr? He got benched last season. There were times where, like, the Spencer Rattler talk now is already starting to really pick up. But could you imagine the game that decides whether the Saints or the Raiders get in the playoffs is Week 18 against New Orleans? Sign me up for that every single day of the week. Put that into my veins. That sounds like a hell of a season. So now that we've gone through every single game here for the Raiders, home and away opponents, what do you think their schedule record's going to be? Like, how many games will the Silver and Black win this season? The number that I keep going with is I'm going to be between 9 to 10 wins. And until I actually see the official Raiders schedule based on when their bye week is, which teams are they playing, my projection is I'm going to be right around 9 to 10 wins. If the Raiders can win 8 games last season with the worst quarterback play in the league and Josh McDaniels, somebody tell me why we're not going to be at least an 8-win team. If you're worse than 8 wins, Antonio Pierce and Telesco got a lot of answers and a lot of questions that need answering. So again, the NFL schedule will be released tomorrow, May 15th. The NFL says it's going to be at 8 p.m. I'm just telling you, here at Chat Sports, here at the Raiders Report, we will have the schedule before that. So make sure you're subscribed, because as soon as I get the entirety of the Raiders 17-game schedule, I'll make a video on it. We'll push it out. If for whatever reason we don't have all the games by 8 p.m. Eastern time, there is a chance that Chugs and I go live. Again, it's still TBD. A lot of things are up in the air with the schedule. All I need you to know is we will know the Raiders schedule by tomorrow, and we'll be breaking it down here on the Raiders Report. Which game are you looking forward to the most? Chiefs, Saints, those are the games. Chiefs, Saints, those are my two. I mean, Chiefs are always going to be the game. I mean, Broncos, Chargers, the division rival games, yes. When I ask this question, it's more of like outside of our division, who are you excited for?
I think Tampa Bay is going to be an interesting matchup.
Steelers, Russell Wilson.
Steelers, Russell Wilson will be another interesting game.
I like the Rams game. I think when you look at this schedule, I mean, from top to bottom.
That's a good answer, Ira.
The Bengals is a hell of a game.
Ira said the playoff game.
Touche. A playoff game for the Raiders, dude. Can you imagine? We've done a lot of really, really fun watch parties here on this show. A Raiders playoff game would move mountains. I mean, it would really, really, truly move mountains.
Is this correct?
No, I don't have anything. Actually, let me refresh. Yep, that's it. This one's rolling in from Ira Jackson. Ira Jackson.
There we go.
Let's go, Ira. You got to be shitting me, man. You got to be absolutely shitting me, man. So you know what?
You got to be chitting me.
I'm going to do something a little bit different today. Ira, since you decided to ball out, whoever comes in last place of our 50-50 raffle, I'm going to hook you guys up with a Raiders Report jersey. Whoever comes in last place, on top of the butthole pick, you're going to get a Raiders Report jersey, courtesy
Love that.
of Ira Jackson. So if you haven't already, make sure you say thank you to Ira. Get those Iras flowing down below. Whoever comes in last place of our duck race, you are getting a jersey courtesy of Ira. I'm rocking the Tri-Van right now, $20 Venmo to get in. I'm going to look at the math here because we do have a few extra people that decided to get in while I was doing that segment. Patrick B is in twice. You in. It looks like Luis A is in. Willie Pfister said, you know what, Mitch, put me in that. Ira Jackson is in, and then Stanley Holmes. You in. So $20 Venmo, as it stands right now, you'd go home with $300.
That's not
and
too
last
sad.
place gets a Raiders Report jersey of their choosing. So again, it's you get to pick the title, the name, and the number. A few numbers are off limits.
Raider Sancho says enter me.
You entered.
Entered.
You entered.
Consider yourself entered.
Consider it entered. All right, Chugs. I'm going to send you the list of names here.
Did we triple check it?
Not yet. I'm just going to send you the names that I have so far.
Okay.
We got 30 names exactly. So I'm going to go through this so I just don't miss any again. I see Buzz-O-Matic, Husker, Noah Santana twice, Ron Raspberry, Jason Gutierrez, Navman, Ryan Bass, my dad, Amy, Maddie, Randall Carter, Navman, Alexander Furr, Navman again, Tri-Van, Norman Hernandez, Mike Van L, Raider Josh, Mo Chavez, Raider Sancho, Patrick B, Luis A, Ira, Willie, Stanley Holmes. I think I got everyone. I also just got another one from Anthony Marigil. Did I pronounce that right? Anthony Marigil? Hopefully.
He's been on a lot of races.
He's been in a bunch of races. There's so many names that when you see it, I just automatically just say it that way in my head that I can't get it out. It's a Tyree Giuseppe.
Yeah.
It's 100% a Tyree Giuseppe.
It's a classic Giuseppe moment.
Which some people get it, some people don't. All right, Chugs. I think that's everyone.
Alrighty.
Actually, I didn't send you Marigil's name. 31 people are in. Winner's going to go home with $310. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Again, whoever comes in last place, you're going to get a Raiders Report jersey and the butthole pick. I also saw somebody say, shout out to Chuck the Pup. Chuck the Pup, good guy.
Made his modeling debut today.
He did. He did.
Evil Mitch, I hope we have a Raiders 49ers Super Bowl someday.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be massive for the channel.
Raiders against anybody Super Bowl. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is, man. I would say if from the content creator in me where
Raiders Cowboys.
What do I think does the most numbers? Raiders Cowboys I think does more numbers than Raiders 49ers.
Raiders Cowboys Super Bowl would break the internet.
If we got a Raiders Cowboys Super Bowl, I think Cullen would be able to get a standing desk.
I think we're all getting standing desks if it's Raiders Cowboys Super Bowl.
If it's a Raiders Cowboys Super Bowl, we're allowed to get 2 lemon cookies apiece.
Oh, the lemon cookies are going to be flowing like the tap water out of our broken sink.
Our sink works. The drain is the problem.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
We will be loaded up on lemon cookies for the rest of the year if it's Raiders Cowboys.
Dude. Yeah, that would be wild, man. Philip B, any news? Unfortunately, that answer is a no.
Raiders beat the Cowboys. Dak moves from the Cowboys to the Raiders.
You just got it. You got the whole thing figured out.
Full circle.
What's more likely, the Raiders have a tie this year, or Dak's the Raiders' starting quarterback next season?
Dak.
More likely?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right,
you're telling me one thing that might happen and one thing that is going to happen.
Oh, I got you. Coming up here, winner of this race is going to get $310. Can we get did you shuffle?
Mm-hmm.
You already did? All right, 3, 2, 1, run it. Here we go. And out to an early lead is somebody that looks like a panda and a duck. I want to say that's, man, Charles G.
Alexander Furr.
Boots with the fur. Mo Shav.
Homer Simpson.
That's Homer. That the Flash? No,
Captain America.
Captain America. Sorry.
Randall I think that's Mario.
Who?
Randall Carter is Mario.
I want to say Iron Man for Van Leuven.
I think Raider Josh is Bowser.
I think Navman, the one on the bottom, is a dog. Is this Link or Zelda?
That's Link.
That's Squirtle from Noah Santana.
Yeah.
Bowser, Raider Josh.
Luis, I don't know what that is.
That's a pumpkin. That's horrifying. Jason Gutierrez, who's this in the back here?
Ira!
This would be fitting. Come on, Ira. Bob the Builder. Ira Jackson. Bang! Good for Ira, dude.
Oh, coming in second.
Will
Look who's
Pfister.
last place.
All right, Patrick, obviously you already have a jersey. So, Patrick B, I'll ask you.
Maybe his dog wants a jersey.
Does your dog want a jersey? That's true. Savannah has a jersey. Patrick has a jersey.
Dogs do not.
I mean, Lord Buddy Bear does have 2 jerseys for his cats.
Choco Bear and Rebel says, can you just send me the pic since Patrick already has one?
Rebel, you want it? I got you. Rebel, I got you, man. Just give me 1 sec here.
Oh, he said just run it again for the jersey. Run the same race back.
Same race again. Let's do it. So the winner of this race, the winner gets a jersey. Unless you already have one. If you already have one, then you're not getting one.
All right. Same race. This time for the jersey. It's Patrick B again.
I mean, if Patrick B wins this time, then I think you just got to give it to him. I think then you just got to give it to him.
Rebel said, I'll actually take the pick for Patrick B.
Oh, got it. Rebel, check your DMs. Navman, I already ordered him a jersey.
Ron Raspberry?
Does Ron, do you have a jersey? I think Ron does.
Yeah.
I think I definitely have a Raspberry jersey back there. 100%. I don't have a Charles G.
No Mo Chav.
Will Pfister would move mountains. Do I have an Amy jersey? I don't think I have an Amy jersey. Buzz-O-Matic. I have a Buzz-O-Matic jersey. Do I have a Mo Shav? A Norman Hernandez! Norman, if you're out there, Norman, I need you to message me what jersey you want. Norman Hernandez with the dub.
It'll be the best Hernandez NFL jersey ever created.
What number was Aaron? In all honesty.
I don't remember.
I actually don't remember either. 81. I'm not going to lie. A Norman Hernandez 81 Raiders jersey would be something. That would be something. Norman, are you here right now?
Norman, can you hear me?
I mean, there's definitely Norman's definitely right now. Like, I kind of like that idea. I'm not gonna lie. Yep. All right, I'm gonna message Norman right now. Tell me.
Let me know. We're about to head out of here because we got to open up the studio for 2 different watch parties. First, an NBA watch party, Knicks Pacers. I already know you're rooting for your Knickerbockers.
Yeah, dude, they pissed me off so bad. I mean, I was not as mad as Marshall, but definitely I was an upset human being over that last Knicks game. And it's not because it was the effort. If you're not going to go out there and give a shit and try, don't waste my time.
Honestly, I would be upset if I was a Pacers fan that went to that game, even though it was a blowout.
I'd be pissed.
You're like, dude, I spent so much on tickets, and it was a boring game.
It was a horrendous game.
I would have, even though it sucked, I would have rather been a Mavs fan and gone to that game that was a loss than gone to a blowout win.
I'm with you. My buddies went to that Mavs game, and they were sending me pictures, because, I mean, the Mavs were winning the entire game. I didn't get any pictures after, 7 minutes into the fourth quarter,
Yep.
so.
We also have another watch party, which she might be in the middle of something. If Mrs. Barefoot can explain what her watch party is going to be tonight. A little bit of a Chat Sports special, something never been done before.
A Chat Sports first.
Not many of those anymore. Yes, the first ever WNBA regular season stream is happening tonight on Chat Sports Main. Got the W sweatshirt here. So
Do it for the dub.
if you're a fan of Caitlin Clark or women's basketball, your girl will be there.
Or Allie Barefoot.
Or Allie Barefoot. Or if you just hate Marshall Green, I'm on another channel. So
There
don't
you
worry
go.
about it.
Honestly,
If you hate Marshall Green and love Caitlin Clark, we have the right channel for you.
honestly, everyone's
That's the
like,
title.
everyone was kind of sitting there like, I don't know if I'm going to watch. Hate Marshall Green, in. I am there. Rebels like, I am subscribed by 4 accounts.
Caitlin Clark debut plus Marshall Green hate watch party.
Plus, go home, Marshall. I'm there.
But no, for real, if you want to go support some of our other channels, our Knicks channel is going to be going live, I believe, here in a little bit. I think they're getting that stuff ready to go. What time is the game? 6:30?
All right, so Norman, he wants
81 Hernandez?
close. It's not quite what he's going for, though. It's all right, though. It's his. He wants Norman H, and then he wants number 68. He said it's for his mom.
Nice.
For mom.
If
For
you want to
Ma.
check out our Knicks channel, go do that. And our main Chat Sports channel is going to be broadcasting, doing a watch party for the main, not main, the WNBA debut of Caitlin Clark. How many points do you think Caitlin Clark scores tonight?
30?
Let me know down in the comment section. How many points do you think Caitlin Clark is going to score tonight?
I'm telling you right now,
35.
I will watch.
35. I'm going to have Allie
I
on.
will watch.
I will probably super chat to Allie Barefoot, just like I do all my channels. I always send in $2 super chats and just talk shit.
Talk shit. I mean, I'll be there.
Navman called it my lunch money
Lunch money?
because I just send in random super chats.
Oh, man. Ira just messaged me. He said, you better count your lucky stars. You have to go. You're damn right, Ira. I'm getting out of here. Ira, I'll say this. If you want to party a little bit, what time does the Knicks game start? That starts at 7.
Does it?
7, right? 7:30. Yeah, I'll be gone here. Ira, I might make a deal though for the Ira Jackson. I might make a deal for the Ira Jackson on Knicks.
So the game starts at 7.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing they're going live an hour before. So you might be here right at the tail end or the very beginning of their stream.
Yeah, we'll see.
What time are you going live, Allie? Allie's game is at 6:30.
Oh, Allie's at 6:30. That's a little earlier.
So we might be here for the beginning. Are you going an hour before or 30? 6:15 Central Time. 7:15 Eastern.
Yep. Yep.
And then 4:15
Carry the 1.
Pacific.
Or is that specific? I don't know.
Specific time.
All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. Chugs, shout out to Ira Jackson for being a maniac.
He's a maniac on the floor.
But you know what? Today's show.
Chatting like he's never done before.
Today's show is proof that karma does exist.
He's a maniac on the floor.
Ira hits the gong, wins $310 on our duck race.
And does it once more.
Shout out to Ira. Not watching NBA. I'm in my shop drinking and working on my son's car.
That's dope.
Dude, that's sick, man. What kind of car is it? Actually, I think I saw a picture of it the other day. I follow Ira on IG.
You'll be on FaceTime with him here in a little bit.
Oh, yeah, Ira, I'm going to call you here. I'm not going to lie. I totally forgot about that. Ira, I'm going to call you. All right? When I walk home, Ira, I'm going to give you a phone call. From me, from Jeremy Chugs. We'll see you guys tomorrow when the Raiders announce their schedule.
Here we go.
Peace.